You're watching the Battered Herons Network.
Welcome to episode number 550 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and not live, coming here pre recorded because just heard some. I mean, actually, it shouldn't have been news. I should have known this already, but I wasn't aware, and apparently a lot of people weren't because a lot of people have been asking the same question. So I just want to come on here and address something real quick. We've all been talking about Messi, DePaul, and when are they returning? They made it to the World Cup final, obviously, and everybody wants to know when are they coming back? Well, we knew they were going to come back for the first game back, which is I'm recording this Wednesday, July 22nd in the morning. We knew they were going to come back tonight for the first game back. They just lost the final, 2-3 days ago. So if they would have won, they were going to go to Argentina anyway. Messi, I believe, is in Argentina right now. So he wasn't coming back for this game. Then you have this weekend's game against Columbus. You figured he wasn't going to come back for that either. And then you have the All-Star game next week. You know he's not going to attend an All-Star game. Um, because he wasn't going to attend it, I assumed he'll probably get suspended for the following game. So I assumed he'll be back. And my apologies. It was Montreal this weekend. So it's Chicago tonight, Montreal in Montreal on Saturday. So you knew he wasn't going to come back, especially to travel to Canada. And then next week is the All Star game. He wasn't going to play in the All Star game. And if they sent the president last year where they suspended him for not attending, so I figured he'll get suspended for that following weekend's game, which is Columbus. So I figured those are the 3 games he'll miss. He'll be back by August 5th because they want him back for Leagues Cup. That was my assumption. But apparently it started making the rounds around social media yesterday, reminding everybody that last year the collecting bargaining for FIFA has a new rule where it is now mandatory that after a large tournament, World Cup is the largest tournament that there is, after a big tournament, that players are have to I'm sorry, it's mandatory that they take 3 weeks off after the tournament. So, with that, that means that it is mandatory that Messi and DePaul take 3 weeks off from Sunday, which was July 19th, which is interesting because I didn't know about that. Nobody had said anything. And that's troublesome. And that makes sense for a lot of other leagues, right? Because 3 weeks after July 19th, most of the leagues are still in the off season. So, players start trickling into training camps and things of that nature little by little, and they stagger when they show up. Like, it's not a big deal. MLS is in the heart of their season, and with the League's Cup approaching, this is a big deal for Inter Miami. Now, obviously, this won't matter in the future because in the future they're going to line up their calendar with everybody else. But for this season, it sucks. And I know we were talking about how the MLS was the only team that had players in the final. That's great, but now it's going to bite us in the butt. But now that we know it's 3 weeks, I just wanted to real quick to look at the schedule to see more or less when we think that he might come back and what that's going to look like. So I got the schedule here up on the screen. So Miami, Chicago is tonight, and then we have Montreal on Saturday, and Columbus, which are the 3 games that I thought that he would miss already. But with this new information, August 5th, that is still within the 3 weeks, he was going to miss the first game of the Leagues Cup, which is August 5th. And then I looked at it already. 3 weeks from from July 19th, which was the World Cup final, 3 weeks from that day is August 9th. So August 9th is technically when the 3 weeks are up. So that's when he can come back. And that would be the day after the Monterrey game, which is on a Saturday in the second Leagues Cup game. So Messi's going to miss the Monterrey game. So we're going to be 2 games into Leagues Cup. He's going to miss those. Now, if he shows up on the 9th of August or the 10th, whatever that may be, I'm assuming they're going to say, okay, now he has to start training and get back ready to play. I think he misses all 3 Leagues Cup games, which is brutal for the chances of us moving on in the Leagues Cup. Now, after that, if we were to move on from the League's Cup group stage, I would assume that this Philadelphia game gets canceled, and then that would become a League's Cup game, which is a weekday, August 19th. If that's not the case, I'm not sure where they would play it because these games are every 3 or 4 days. But I do not think that he comes back for a road game in Nashville. So I'm assuming he misses the whole group stage of the League's Cup, possibly misses the Nashville game. If we make it out of the group stage, I think he comes back on the 19th for whatever game that is for League's Cup. If they don't make it out of the group stage, I think when he comes back, he's gonna debut at home. So there's a chance that if we don't make it out of the group stage, maybe we don't see him until August 22nd, which would be over a month break after the World Cup, and it would be 3 months since we last saw him playing for Inter Miami. So that's where we're at. It's disappointing because I really thought, for the purposes of the heck's going on? For the purposes of League's Cup, I thought that they would, I don't want to say rush him back, but they'd want him back, right? Contractually, this is his tournament, right? This is where he made his debut. This is where Inter Miami got their first trophy. I thought that he would be back for this. And now, to be fair, they're playing against, who is it, San Luis? Or what was their name? Is it San Luis? Yes, Atlético de San Luis, which is a bottom of the table team in Liga MX last year for both halves of their season. And then they're playing against León, which has been pretty bad over the last year or two also. So 2 out of those 3 games are winnable, technically. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, maybe they can't make it out of the group stage without Messi in the Paul anyway. Casemiro might be there by that time. Who knows what happens? But it's looking like we're going to be without Messi for quite a while. So brace yourself, because this is going to be a Messi-less Inter Miami for a little bit longer than I thought. And yeah, it should be interesting. Look, I usually enjoy watching the team try to win without their stars, no matter what sport it is. I think it's an interesting thing to see who can step up and things like that. But with the League's Cup and the way that this season's gone so far, I was personally hoping that they would figure out a way to muster out another trophy before the MLS Cup. And it looks like it's going to be very tough. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. And again, I just wanted to come on here to say Messi and Paul out at least 3 weeks, which puts them at after the League's Cup group stage, and that puts into question the League's Cup. So you guys tell me in the comments how you think this League's Cup's going to go, and if you really believe that they won't come back until, I'm guessing, August 22nd at this point. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave 5 stars in a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we'll be back later tonight for those watching on Wednesday, July 22nd, for our post game of the Chicago game. So until the next one, have a good one.